Alrighty guys, today we are going into Cascara Sagrada, or Cascara Buckthorn, and it is a laxative, and this person talking is me, Benjamin Kallenberg from consciousazine.com, and look, this appears to be one of the safest, easiest going laxatives which are non-addictive. It's non-addictive as well, and there's a lot of laxatives which will actually kind of be addicting, I hear. I don't have any, I've never had a problem, oops, I've never had a bowel problem in my intestine. What I have done is use teas, just, a few teas here and there, random teas that people give me and say are a laxative, so I try it just to try it. Oh look, John Barron. Yeah, this is a website I've been looking at lately, John Barron. Actually just recently done his liver cleanse. So let's have a look at what he says too. Okay, let's go to WebMD first and get the, what to call it today. Well, I don't really hate WebMD or anything, so I'm not going to put a spiteful comment against the system doctors here. But let's just say astute. Let's use the word astute for today and be positive. So we'll go for a more astute look at this, and well, I have to be truthful, it's going to be less than multidimensional, less than a full approach. It's going to be, although positively speaking, it's going to be very precautious, so you won't get hurt, and that's what I think a lot of people like about the white coat doctors. They feel cared for because they, do this sort of stuff. Anyway, well, I'm like a shaman doctor, which is a little bit different, our whole style. So you might not want to take it with dietary supplements. Is that what it's saying? Oh no, it's saying that it is a dietary supplement. It's a laxative, treatment for gallstones, liver ailments and cancer. And some people use it as a bitter tonic. And a tonic means you can, or long term. A medicine is something you sort of get on quickly to heal yourself very quickly and ruggedly, That's kind of what a medicine is compared to a tonic. Side effects, possibly unsafe when used long term, could get stomach cramps and stuff, can cause serious side effects including dehydration, low levels of potassium, sodium chloride, electrolytes. Yeah, I was going to say it's just going to pull out your electrolytes. All you really need to do is, I don't know, have a juice after. Try I don't know, what juice? Spinach and tomato juice, whatever you want. A green mixed with a fruit juice maybe, so you get both vegetable and fruit, and that'll restore your electrolytes. Coconut water, one of the best forms of electrolytes. Anyway, and by the way, coconut water itself is a laxative, and a safe one, and a non-addictive and so on. So there's what it looks like apparently. Okay, so it's an over-the-counter laxative. There's plenty of ones, like I mentioned, coconut water, which are not over-the-counter and not prescription and stuff like that. But I just wanted to look into this. Is a stimulant laxative. It works by causing muscle contractions in the intestine, so it gives you that peristaltic action back. That's good. OTC laxative, okay. So the US Food and Drug Administration, the people that I swear to God we don't want to listen to a word they say, have said don't use it and it's not safe. Yeah, look, we can figure that out pretty easy by using it ourselves. What I'd like people like this to do is really be world leaders, like, people like me on YouTube are doing, is left to people like us. Anyway, you should never use Cascara Sagrada for these if you have appendicitis, kidney disease, stomach pain of an unknown cause, intestinal blockage, or IBS, or inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis, or Crohn's disease. So that's unfortunate because I was going to recommend it if I could, and that's why I'm researching it for Linnell. And this is kind of a bit of an addendum video too for Linnell. And I was going to say, if you've got stomach problems, you don't know what you have for sure, Crohn's or dysbiosis generally, which just means, your gut is sort of out of order. These things aren't really where you want to be looking towards at all. Maybe initially to unclog, but then like in the previous video, the main video I shot for you recently in Linnell, when I was saying, I went through everything from grounding to deworming and so on, and deparasiting. So the thing I did leave out was, I did mention a few foods, but I did leave out, for instance, I don't think you eat meat, but meat will definitely stuff up your gut. It'll turn to nitrogen sulfide, and that sort of eats away even at our DNA and the gut wall lining, and that's how you can get polyps and ulcerative colitis and stuff like that for sure. So definitely you want to get meat and the bread products out. If you really need bread for some reason, just go old, like Ezekiel bread style fermented breads, breads with say 9 seeds in them. If you can find a 9-seed bread or something, or just a bread that has big seeds in it, it's just those oils are gonna help you digest it. You just got to start to get really tricky.
I go to the car. You come? Oh no.
Yeah, wait a minute. I'm just doing a video.
Okay.
You are allergic to any ingredient. Okay, so there's some precautions with this one. And it's probably not one that I would recommend. I just heard about it, and it's just it had a name that I'd never heard before, and I wanted to research it. It says it's a natural laxative, but it's over the counter, so it's synthetic. Natural is not really organic from nature, necessarily anyway. Alright, here we go. Early plant chemists have identified the active laxative constituents in Cascara sagrada bark as anthraquinone derivatives. Okay. Oh, this is John Barron's site. In fact, John uses it in his colon corrective formula. Right. Well, this John guy seems pretty onto it. I don't know who he is. He just he seems pretty onto it. It's a good website. It's also been used to treat gallstones, liver ailments, hemorrhoids, fissures, and even cancer. And it's a bitter tonic. Yeah, it's funny how all the bitters really seem to heal cancers too. So this is apparently what it. Just to quickly addendum this video, I mentioned the meat thing. I've mentioned so much stuff in the stomach. Linnell, if you want, a consultation, you should get a consultation and not just donate for me to do a food plant teaching video. Because in a consultation, I'll get much more into the deep end of it. I'm trying to stay more broad when I do a $30 Bandit food plant teaching series video, like this one. I'm trying to stay a lot more broad. And for anyone who doesn't know, there's some of my videos. And yeah, thanks Linnell for donating. I just wanted to do a few of those little addendums because I didn't mention the meat in the last video, I don't think. I might even have. And so I think we've gone over a lot. I think we need to communicate more because you didn't communicate too much to me about what you eat, what might be causing the problem, what any doctors have said to you. These are things you really need to tell me, the asymptote, the shaman doctor needs to know everything. I need to know what the medical doctor said too, It's good, points of reference. They're not exactly my enemies. There's a lot of good medical doctors out there. It's just a generalization against the crazy white coats who are, you know, all for animal products and not for veganism and stuff. So it's pretty funny. They're like the opposite of health. Anyway, that brings me to the final point. Basically, a whole foods plant-based diet and fruits. Get some fruits because the fruits move through your gut really quickly, and you know, fiber. Fruit has a lot of fiber, pulls out toxins. It'll just sort of scrape gently the inside of your intestines as well. So there you go. And yeah, thanks everybody for listening, and thanks for donating, and enjoy.